Hi there, these comments are for Jay, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT, your online TOEFL course. And welcome to my course. You are one of probably my newest student who just recently enrolled, and you made a comment over my Better TOEFL Scores blog. And let's take a look at your specific situation. So you've given me a lot of information here. So let's read through your comments, and then I will give you some comments of my own. My name is Jay. I am a therapist who graduated from a foreign country. I passed TOEFL IBT year 2005 after my 9th take. Some 3 years ago, I tested my English proficiency through retaking the exam and scored very low. It was a frustrating experience. Now here's a question. Now, why was it in 2008 that you scored a lot lower than what you did in 2005? So I'm assuming that maybe you did not use that much English between 2005 and 2008, am I right? You say, one of the many reasons why I decided to enroll in your course is because I wanted to improve my grammar, sentence construction, articulation, pronunciation, and everything else. At work, whenever I talk, and I would say here, and want to explain therapy goals to my clients, I would say here, I cannot explain whatever I have in my mind since it takes time for me to think the exact words to say. So you want to make sure here you have talk present, want present, and then can present. And then right after the word say, to avoid what's called a comma splice here, put a semicolon after the word say. Thus, I feel I'm not very effective. You want to say, thus, I feel I am not a very effective therapist to clients, and that doesn't help my confidence. Besides that, See, this is kind of throwing me off here, I'll be honest with you. You're going from present to past, which makes it confusing. I think you want to say here, I want to move to another state for a better opportunity, and one requirement is to pass the TOEFL IBT. I need 24 for writing, 26 for speaking, 18 for listening, and 21 for reading. So please help. All right, we can do this. You can do this. Now, your first step really is to realize that you need to improve your English proficiency. So this is your first step, and based on this email, I think you have come to that conclusion. Now, my recommendation is doing 3 specific things to help you continue to improve your language and your academic English. Number 1, keep reading. If you haven't done this, start it, but keep reading for about 45 minutes every day. Read magazines, newspapers, and longer books. Number 2, keep practicing listening. Focus on TV if you can, news, history, documentary, and especially science programs. So each day for the next few months, you're doing regular reading and listening practice. In both cases, as you do your reading and your listening practice, get in the habit of note-taking on the main and the most important supporting points of those reading and listening passages. Then, using your notes each week, Jay, I want you to write 3 250-word summaries every week of either a reading or listening passage that you have been practicing. Now, you don't really need me to correct any of this. I don't have to score any of this. This is just something that you're doing on your own. You're getting used to reading and listening, taking notes, and then writing about that information. In addition to writing about the reading and listening passages each week, I want you also to do 3 to 5 60-second responses of those reading and listening passages. You should record your voice, you should listen to it afterwards, and really pay attention to your delivery, language use, and also how you develop and organize your ideas. This is very, very important, Jay. This is very important in helping you reach your goals. So every day for the next maybe 2 or 3 months, you're following these suggestions. So you're writing 3 academic summaries every week, and then you're doing 3 to 5 oral summaries every week of those reading and listening passages. Now, you should also be spending 1 to 2 hours every day at my online TOEFL course. Remember, I've designed this course to be inexpensive. You can use it whenever you want. You can use it wherever you want, and it's not going to bust your budget if you use my course for several months. Now remember, one of the most important reasons for using my course from your end, remember, you can use a TOEFL book, you can study grammar, you can study vocabulary anywhere you like, right? But through me, you actually have the opportunity to post pronunciation, speaking, and writing practice tests. You should do that. You should start posting those. And that way you get feedback from me. Now, I do have some additional services. I don't know if you're interested, maybe, maybe not. But I do have an error correction service that you can take advantage of for your writing practice tests. If you want me to error correct all of your grammar, I can certainly do that, but I cannot do that obviously for the price of $38 a month. So at some point, if you're interested in the error correction service, you can send me an email. Now, I also offer an additional pronunciation service to help you more one-on-one tutorials with your speaking and pronunciation of American English. So if at some point you're interested in doing that, you can also contact me by email to ask me about that. But anyway, here's how I recommend that you use my course for the next few months. You'll probably need to use it for maybe 3 or 4 months. Okay, the first step is to go through the vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar lessons on my course. That's the first step. And what you can do so you don't burn out is don't just do vocabulary in a day. You may do a vocabulary lesson, then you can do a pronunciation lesson, and then you can do a grammar lesson. Then the next day do the same thing. Do another vocabulary, another pronunciation, and another grammar. So for the first month, I want you to work in the vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar parts of my course. Now, once you've done that, maybe the first month or 2, depending on how long it takes you to get through this information, the second thing is go through the reading and the listening lessons in my online TOEFL course. Right? This is also very helpful. So then, again, so you don't burn out, you'll do a reading and a listening lesson in a day. Then the next day you do another reading, another listening, and then for the next month or 2, you're going through my reading and listening lessons. Once you've done those, then it's time to move over to the writing and the speaking parts of my course. Right? So once you're there, remember, you've already studied the vocabulary, you've already studied the grammar, you've been doing your reading and your listening practice, and remember, you've already been writing and giving oral summaries of reading and listening passages that you've already chosen. None of those have been graded, but now you will start doing writing and speaking on a day-to-day basis, and then you will start getting grades from me. Hopefully by that point, you will be ready to get some very good scores on your practice tests, and then that will tell you that you're getting ready for the TOEFL IBT. So what you can do, if you need to check your progress at any given point, I do offer full-length IBT practice tests at my website. You can go to the 8th section of my course, Jay. And the 8th section of my course offers you an additional service to take some full-length IBT practice tests so that you can mark your progress and make a decision about whether or not you are ready to take the TOEFL IBT exam. And those are my comments. All right. Anyway, thank you very much, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success. And once again, thank you for joining my course.